I mean, I guess I'll just keep it as basic as possible. I mean, just after 2 days, what do you like? What do you feel like you've just accomplished so far? Just at practice, what's stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we've had a good. Actually, this is finished up day 4 today, or practice 4 today. I had a chance to be out in the rain, which is invaluable. Chance to be able to have wet ball work for both offense, defense, and special teams, especially the guys handling the ball and special teams. Got to work on some good punts throughout that time, and then PAT field goals as well, and worked on some 2-minute today and different situational things in the red zone. But thought it's been good. Had first 2 days in spiders, last 2 days have been in shells, and so just feel like I love the work ethic of our guys. I'm not really necessarily surprised by that. They've had that all off season and summer, and just kind of created that's the expectation every single day and everything that we do, and so been encouraged by that. Typical, both sides, we're just doing installs every day. We're still working through that, so you're not really scheming against either side of the ball. You're just working on getting your side of the scheme put in. So sometimes that creates a little bit of just working through stuff that you may or may not use it against or whatever, but you have to. That's just part of the process. We all understand that. So just encouraged by the attitude of our guys, the effort that we've seen. I always tell our team, I think the best way for me to gauge the buy-in of our team and just the attitude and where they're at is how hard they go during special teams drill work. And just been really encouraged by that, the intensity of it, the physicality of it, the effort given every single rep by just a whole slew of guys. And so I've seen that, and that's been encouraging. So, but once again, I did expect that, saw that during the spring. But in the guys we've had new, they get brought into this culture, and that's what they are shown, and that's what's expected. So got a lot of film of that, and so I feel like we've gotten a lot of good reps on both sides of the ball, and have already got some really good special teams work in.
Yeah, Coach. When we look at Taiwan Mullen on Friday, it looked a little stronger, a little bigger in the upper body. How much of that is by design, and how do you think that'll kind of help him in year 3 as he kind of continues to grow?
Yeah, he's definitely filled out, gained some really good weight, gotten stronger, gotten a step quicker, and a little more burst. And so just part of his development, that's the weight room that you rely on. And, it's a physical football game that we play, and you got to be able to take the hits, and over time those add up. And so he's one of several that have gotten bigger and stronger in this last off season. So yeah, I think it'll help him, and he's got the same edge to him, the same mindset he's always had. Such a great teammate, such a great leader of that group, trying to get him to expand that leadership role a little bit to the whole defense. But just really love his attitude. He's just always trying to find ways to help his team get better. But yeah, he's busted his tail in the weight room, and it shows.
Coach, in years past, you probably couldn't expect to do a lot in the first week of practice, but now with the guys being together more, doing more together on their own, there's probably more of a realistic first week approach to what you'd like to see implemented. How much do you want to see done in the first week? I mean, I know that's it's easy going in, but got to put as much in as we got to make hay when the sun shines.
You do, and I think we've been aggressive in our install. By what we're putting in each day, and I've been around different approaches where some are a little slower. Some say you go and you put a bunch in right in the first 4 or 5 days, and then you go back, or you just sometimes I've been places where we go first 2 days, and then day 3 is nothing new. We've just kept plowing right through it with this group. We feel like we got a lot of maturity out of our team, and as you mentioned, a lot of the work's been done in the player practices. The installations were installed there, and things from the spring as well, and all the stuff that you missed a year ago. So, I feel really good about the aggressiveness of the installs on both sides, and even with special teams. So yeah, we've got a lot put in, and sometimes that causes day 4 and 5. I think you get a little bit of information overload, especially for the new guys. But we're able to be 3 deep and have 1s, 2s, and 3s going, even do it up to me as 4s in certain drills where we do a 2-spot drill for our reps. So definitely it's obvious that the depth is different than it's been in the past, and that helps us practice better and helps us improve, I think, and helps us get more guys ready to play.
A couple quick ones. The extra padding or that hood on the helmets, is that something we're going to see every day? And how long does it take into camp before you start thinking about first and second and third units? Does that take a couple weeks?
It does. I would say, we want to get to the first scrimmage, which will be this coming Saturday, and we call it preseason game number 1. And after that, then you'll have a little closer idea. After the second one, I would say yes. Then you're really kind of getting more. Right now, we're still wide open. I have a lot of guys that we're going to see competing, so really not focused on 1s and 2s at this point. Matter of fact, we tell the guys, I don't care when we got guys that are even sometimes the 3s and 4s as in a complete rotation, or guys that are going to be competing to play on Saturdays. So just trying to get guys involved. So and to answer your first question about the extra padding on the helmets, those are basically for concussion prevention. Protect our guys. I do think in the future we could see that be mandated, for practices. It's not yet. It's been discussed in the medical world, just trying to figure it out, and see some different things. So we got certain, right now we start with everybody on them. We're going to start to focus on some certain groups that will and won't have them based on maybe a guy's concussion history. Probably can see our O-line, D-line keeping those on in practice because they get so much of just a constant pounding. And I just think that anything we can do to help make it safer for our guys, we're researching other options as well. So, but this is something that we've discussed and a lot of schools have as well. And just like I said, just try to do everything we can to keep our guys healthy.
I know he's not necessarily a guy that you'll look to too much this season, but Donovan obviously was a real priority recruit for you out of Indianapolis. I mean, just how have you seen him progress, especially maybe now that he's in a more formal practice setting? You can kind of put him as, 7-on-7 type situations and things like that, rather than just kind of hearing reports on what's going on in the
Sure,
summer.
yeah, I think, really been encouraged by his growth. I feel like that even some things today, you're able to isolate certain parts of what we do, and you could just see the talent, I mean, that's shown up from the beginning, but just his comfort level, when you kind of minimize the reads and you're not trying to see everything, and I think for a young guy, they obviously see too much, and it makes it hard, but it's, he's a gifted player, very talented. He's up to 215 pounds, which is a significant difference from when they got here. He's just a big frame, he's close to 6'5", and he's a good looking. When you walk out there, you notice him, for sure, and the way he moves, and he's got such a quick release. He's just trying to learn the offense, so just definitely has a long ways to go for sure. But I'll tell you what, the other thing that really impresses me about him is just his attitude. He's such a sponge. He's so humble, eager to learn, just a great listener. I watch him when he interacts with our coaches and doesn't ever get defensive. He just has a great demeanor about him, about wanting to learn and grow and get better. So I think that just is it's a good sign for his mental development and how he's going to just keep getting better and better. But yeah, he's going to be a special one.
Coach, I want to ask you about your linebacker core really quick. Most depth you've had there probably in quite some time. Cam Jones, Micah McFadden leading the way there. When you look at that room, what have they been able to do so far for you, and what do you expect from them during?
I expect a lot from them. First of all, I've always said, you're only as good as your linebackers defensively, and if you want to have a great defense, you better have great linebackers, and we got a great room. And they're not just good players; they're great people. Man, they're just great leaders. They're not afraid to speak, and there's a bunch of them, and I just feel like that, that is a group where you say they got to run the defense, and they got to run that side of the football, and not just I'm talking about making calls. I'm talking about, in the locker room and in the film room, and we have meetings, just whatever we do, walkthroughs. They set the tone, and then obviously, some of those guys, a couple of them. 2 or 3 of them are going to be leaders for the whole team, not just the defense. And so I just feel like that it's a special group of guys that we've had here for several years, recruited them here. They've been developed here. Their buy-in is extremely high. They're athletic. They're stronger than they were a year ago. It's just great to have them all back out there healthy. I think James Miller's made a lot of improvements, fundamentally and just in his, movements. And he's really, I like where his body is physically. And Cam Jones has gotten thicker and looks really good physically. And I think that Mike has continued to just keep getting better physically as well. And Ace, really, Aaron Casey is just continues to develop and grow. And Thomas, is just great to have him back out there. You know, you never know, he had a plate and 7 screws in his hip, you know. So it's amazing what they can do medically, and how hard he's working. It's a testament to him, you know, and he cares a whole bunch. And I just watch him out there, and whatever role he's given, he just embraces it 100%, and he's making checks, and he's on the sideline getting guys locked in during walkthroughs and during the team periods, and is a huge leader on special teams, you know. So all those guys have tremendous value. And I've seen Cam Williams grow up, you know, and Ty Wise is making plays, you know, and Matt Holt came here as a true freshman. He made some big plays today, you know. So it's just, it's a good group, and you know, it's great competition, and they're competing all to play, and they should dominate special teams play and make this team better.
Tom, you had a tweet yesterday about Bobby Bowden and the handwritten letter. I guess just what impact did he have on you as a young coach, and as you mentioned, just the generations of college football?
Yeah, unbelievable impact on this country, on our profession, this sport. Gosh, I can't even say enough awesome things about him. He was one of those guys I've always looked up to, read his books. I was a 23-year-old high school head coach in Tampa, Florida, and would go up there and meet with their staff, watch them practice. And I had written him a note about, just asked him some things, and I didn't expect a handwritten response. That's what I got, and that made an impression on me. I mean, that was probably 90. It was after the 93 season, before 94 season, so they had won the national championship in 93. So, I mean, obviously he's got a lot of things going on. He didn't have to take time to write back to somebody he didn't even know, but that just shows you who he was, you know, and I've never forgotten that. And it was a purposeful response. He talked about, you know, caring for your players, you know, and helping them in the things that matter most. And he's such a strong man of his faith, and he addressed that in his letter too, you know, and I've never forgotten that. So it's made a huge impact on me. And like I said, I'd go up there and watch them, and when they were at the pinnacle of what they were doing, and just the way he led, and you know, obviously did a phenomenal job, you know, as a football coach, and you know, that's pretty obvious. But it's what he did off the field is what I wanted to emulate, and I've always looked up to, and he's a guy that I want to be like.
At Fishers High School, they have used the LEO phrase on the back of their physical education jerseys, and we've seen other schools adopt the one-word method. What's it been like to see that sort of messaging just spread around the state of Indiana, originating from yourself?
Well, you know, it's just I appreciate that people are listening, because I believe in it, you know, and I think it matters. And I think that, you know, we're in a position of influence, and to whom much is given, much is required in leadership, you know. And when you're a coach or even a Division I athlete, you've been put in a position of influence, and people do watch you and they listen to you, and it matters, you know, what you do. And so when, you know, I appreciate that they have believed in it too, you know, and I do think, I mean, I wouldn't make an emphasis of it if I didn't think it was, you know, life-changing. It's bigger than football for me. And so I think that's just a testament to the fact that the things we're doing here are bigger than just trying to, you know, schematically win a football game, you know, and that really is what I really want, you know, and I don't want to just be known as a guy that just coaches ball. I want to be a coach that impacts lives and makes a difference in the individuals that are able to be influenced by coaches and by teachers, and I love education, and I've been a part of it my whole life, and as both a high school teacher and coach and administrator, and my parents and my dad being a high school teacher and coach, and my family as well. So just that matters, you know. So yeah, it's pretty awesome, you know. But at the same time, you know, we just want to continue to be consistent, be true to who we are, and just keep impacting lives.
No, we obviously ask about these guys every time, but now that you've actually seen them get back on the field again, Michael and Marcelino, just how have you seen their progress once you've actually seen them out on a practice field?
Yeah, it's been good to see them out there running around and, you know, playing and cutting and playing football. You know, I think that's been really good. I think, you know, Marcelino, you're able to see, you know, obviously, you know, quarterbacks aren't live, and as we know, they never are in fall camp. But been able to see him be pretty physical, you know, with thudding up and planting and cutting, and you know, he looks good, you know, and it's just a matter of a lot of it's just confidence in that knee, you know, and I feel really good about where he's at, you know, and then just him being able to just keep learning and growing and getting better, you know, and just want him to expand his skill set and be able to you know, be extremely effective for us and also help him in his future as well. So I really feel excited for him and for us where he's at, and same with Michael. You know, he's just you know, doing a good job out there, making throws, and I've seen his leadership increase. He's calling guys out, which is what you want, you know, in a good way, correcting guys, making sure, you know, being a coach on the field when things aren't done right, especially receivers or O-line or whatever it happens to be, and just his confidence in that regard, and obviously his knee just continues to get better every week. So you just gotta, you know, it's all process for sure, and this time of year is very, very important that we all are growing and developing every single day, and those two guys are doing that. Awesome. Have a great day, Elio.